welcome to the Blockchain Futurist Conference. And I have a pleasure speaking with Gregory Gopman from Ankr and talking about Web3, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Thank you. Thanks. Good to be here.
So, Web2 and Web3. People might say, okay, what is the big deal? Why do we have to upgrade it? Why we have to move forward? What was wrong with the Web2 that we're thinking about Web3?
I think Web2 is a different business model, and it's a different business application as well. And so in Web2, you have a traditional company makes a user base, company makes its money, company has investors, company goes public, company pays back its investors, company keeps on making money off the people. And so advertising models work very well in Web2. Where in Web3, it's very much like company gets started, people buy tokens in that company, everyone shares in this like weird token incentivization mechanism of helping that company succeed. If the company does well, the token value goes up, everyone makes money that way. They don't necessarily have to make money as a company, doesn't necessarily have investors. A lot of times they're nonprofits. And so and the data and the things that it creates are very much a public good. It's all transparent and open. And so they're very different business models. And I think where that really is exemplified also is in the growth and the user growth and the incentives. And so in Web2 companies, a user doesn't really have an incentive to join other than maybe a sign-up bonus or the product itself. In Web3, the incentive bonus a lot of times is you get tokens in it, you can earn money with it. And so it's like the incentive is that you can make money and you can win in this industry with these new products, with these new verticals. It's just a new explosion of kind of opportunity for making organizations and businesses different.
Yes. So, for example, if people would like to be in the Web3 space, what do they need to do to get into that Web3 space?
Well, to work in the Web3 space, you have to learn how to add value in different ways. A lot of the Web3 space operates online in Discord groups and Twitter, on these social platforms that most people don't use on a daily basis outside of the crypto world. And so that's one thing you have to do is you have to learn how to reevaluate your skill sets to work in the industry. The other thing you have to do is there's so much in the industry to learn, and most of it you can learn online on YouTube. And so you just have to watch a lot of content. There's so much content, so many content creators. I recommend to people to watch like 30 minutes of crypto stuff every day or an hour 3 times a week. And then after like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you'll start to feel like you have a pretty good grasp of everything, but it takes time. It's an investment. It's definitely an investment.
Yes. Well, Web3, like a lot of things, it's a talk and the hype about it is about the data, what it provides is that it gives the ownership of the data. So how it actually works through the platform, through the Web3 platform, that we can operate our own data and then we can share it when we want to.
Sure. So in a Web2 company, typically the data always lives on a centralized server that's owned by the company, and so it's held private to the company. And whatever they make public is basically what they want to show you. And a lot of times that data can be manipulated internally and no one would ever know. And so if you signed up as a user and we were doing a who's the best news reporter thing and you had 10 votes for you, I could go in the background and put you at 100 votes. And then all the people are like, you're the best because you have 100 votes, everyone else has 10 votes. And that's a centralized system. And blockchain and Web3 use decentralized systems, which means everything's fully transparent. And so if you get 10 votes on this system, on a Web3 system, everyone can see exactly where the votes came from. And if there were additional votes or not, people would be able to see all of that. So there's no way to change it. It's all a fully transparent blockchain network. And so that works for any data that goes on there. And one form of data is votes. One form of data is any kind of user information, but also wallets. And so cash equivalents. And so you're able to see in this industry how the money moves around and where it comes from. My company, where I work at right now, Ankr, what we do is this data lives on nodes. On these blockchains are actually a chain of nodes. There are all these like little nodes. Every block is kind of like a node, you can think of it as. And these nodes are all around the world on servers. And so our company helps run the servers and the node infrastructure that all these blockchains run on top of. So we're a lower level than the blockchain. So we work with about 17 of the top 25 blockchains. We help run these nodes, and when people access data and access blockchain data, they're actually going through Ankr to do that.
So the data is somehow protected. Otherwise, And the Web3, it's centralized, whereas here it sits on different nodes, so it's not going to be lost, it's not going to be damaged. So even if one server goes down, there's a backup with other nodes, other servers.
It's not just that it's protected, but it's fully transparent as well.
Okay.
And so you know not only that it's there, but you know that it's exactly what it's supposed to be. And if there's any funny business, it's very easy for everyone in the world to look at it and to do their own version of investigative journalism, or I think they call it, there's some word for forensic science, like forensic accounting, forensic crypto accounting.
Right. Yeah. So what are the challenges for Web3? Because it's we all talking about it, but it hasn't been perfected yet.
So I think the three biggest challenges for Web3 is, one is the regulatory challenge. And so crypto needs to be regulated so that large financial institutions can get more involved. And so we're seeing this now where like your PayPals and your Citigroups and your JP Morgans, they're starting to do coverage. But the real big money, like the real, not only venture capital funds, but the real, what am I trying to say here? Real finance firms, the real hedge funds, the real financial institutions. For them to come in, they need full regulation. They need to know full clarity what's going on. So that's one. You need better regulation in the space. You need to say what a stablecoin is, what a security is, who manages these things, where the laws are. Definitions. Second thing is you need better user adoption. So there's very few people that currently use cryptocurrency products. Most crypto products are used by people in the crypto industry. We have very few users outside the industry still at this point. And so people will use it for trading, people will use it for stuff like that, but you're not really seeing any blockchain usage for like voting or different organizational structures, or normal consumer companies don't really use any kind of crypto features.
Or even medical.
Yeah, or medical.
Industry.
These things haven't really had adoption yet. Even gaming, which is considered to be the largest path of adoption for the next phase, very early still, very early. We haven't had our first game that has over 1 million users yet. So second is like big adoption. And the third thing is the user experience is still a little funky. We now can use crypto on mobile through MetaMask. It's a web wallet. It basically allows you from your phone, your iPhone or your Android phone, to open up a wallet, to open up a website really, and allow that website to know who you are, your profile. And so in Web 2, you have Facebook login or Twitter login or email login. But in Web 3, you have wallet login. And so for the wallet login to work, you need the wallet to seamlessly work with the Web 3 application websites. And that's not a seamless thing still yet. It's still a little clunky. And so those three things will really bring it together for us as an industry. You know what is cool? What is cool? You'll still hear people say you're still early in this industry, and so we're still early, and it's because we still have these user adoption problems, these user experience problems, these regulatory problems that it's still early. People say Bitcoin's going to $100,000. Whether you believe that or not, the narrative to get to $100,000 or $1 million has been the same for the last 5-10 years, and it's kind of trickled along that process very well. And so it's still early because we don't have those three things in a way, but they will solve those things. And you got to wonder, once these three things all get solved, or one thing gets solved, or two things get solved, where is that price at?
So the key point is don't panic in anything and just work on improving everything around you, including Web3. Greg?
Well, one thing I'll say to your people is Web3 is a fantastic industry. It's fantastic people. Everyone's very open and transparent, and, it's fun. And you're probably going to have a lot of good job security for a long time if you work in the industry. You're going to be okay. Financially, the whole thing's going to work out for you.
Yes. So that's an optimistic side. So even if there are any obstacles right now, they are good because we have to work on that. We cannot create, nothing has been perfect from the beginning. We have to work it and we have to develop it and see what it happens. Right, truly, thank you so much.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Nice time with you guys.
Thank you so much.